It's Crysta from Litter to Glitter, furniture artist out of Barry, Texas. With me, as always, is Sue. Sue, tell them what you about, my girl.
Hey everybody, I'm Sue with Milo and Picasso, located here in Sevierville, Tennessee, inside Flea Trader's Paradise. Tonight I'm gonna bring back something that's been in timeout. My oh gosh, Breakfast at Tiffany's piece, the vanity that I started well over 6 months ago, and I was trying to figure out what can I do with all my old unsold Dixie Belle gloss top coat, and I decided, well, everybody likes shiny, sparkly things, so I pulled out the glitter and I put layers and layers of glitter on this behind me. And we're going to go ahead and do the edges with Stardust and gloss top coat. Stardust is a paint couture product. Once that's cured, and it probably won't happen today, but I'm going to go ahead and coat the top in resin.
That's perfect because I had, before we went live, Sue and I were discussing what I'm going to do to this piece, and I was pulling all sorts of stuff out, and I didn't grab like the stuff that I needed to actually do my project. So she's going to do everything glittery, and I'm going to be playing in the mud, literally. I am going to be using the original Jeff's Swamp Mud. This was one of the original products ever put out, and then other companies copied it, but this is the original Jeff's Swamp Mud. And so I am going to be using the mud to fix all of the surface imperfections on this piece. And then I'll get it sanded, and then we'll start painting, because we figured out, Sue and I figured out what we're doing with this bad boy. So we've got a game plan. There's going to be decoupage and blending and metallic glazes and shifter chrome jewels and shifter jewels. And yeah, and it's going to be awesome. All right, I'm
Layers
done.
and layers. It's got to be gorgeous.
And I'm also thinking, I've had in my head that I want to do some patina. So yeah, there's that too.
Oh, yeah, that's a great idea.
All right. So I've already mixed up my mud this morning because I've actually put a couple of, and so what I'm going to be doing is adding mud into where it's been nicked and dinged throughout the years. And then in a couple of days, give it a couple of days of drying time. I like to give it a couple of days. Some people will do it like 12 hours later. It's just, me. So and then I'll sand it down, and you'll never even really know that this had any surface imperfections.
They'll never
So
know.
they'll never know. It'll be our secret. Don't tell nobody.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I got this piece from a friend. It was her great grandfather's writing desk, and she just didn't want it. And she's like, "You want to come get it?" I'm like, "Haha, be there in 20 minutes."
Right.
Right. And we are turning this into our liquor cabinet. So, who would have thought that I would have more liquor than cabinet? So, we're going to turn this into a liquor cabinet for our house. And that's what we're doing. So, this is really, really easy to do. For surface imperfections, you just kind of put some on your stick, and I just run it up and where it fills in the crevices, and then when I sand it, it'll get all the texture out. And that is what we're doing. We're just going to go over this piece and fill in some of these holes. And we're one of these legs, I'm actually going to save this leg to do on my Miss Lillian's live on Tuesday, because a dog has ate on it or a cat has ate on it. And so it's going to be a little bit more of a constructive thing. where I actually have to build up that leg. So I'll be doing that on Tuesday on my Miss Lillian's live. So how's it going, Sue?
Everything's going good. We've got bipolar weather here in Tennessee. Yeah, one day it's 5 degrees, and the next day it's 70.
Yeah,
I saw a friend over in California got a nice storm come through her yard.
yeah. I saw that for Brandy. Yeah, it took out, what
Yeah,
was it, a house or something?
yeah, the yard, the pagoda or whatever that is out there, but it didn't bother her house, thank God.
Yeah, always a good thing.
Boy, they get crazy weather over there. Who'd have thought?
Huh.
So in a second, I'll pick up the camera. I'll try to and show everybody how this looks with the light hitting it. But that gloss really gives it a pop.
Yeah. Me, I'm gonna pull my camera in too, because you can see with the oh, Zan is watching. Hey, Zan.
Hello.
So pull you guys in. You can see where I've kind of scratched out. There's a big scratch that runs right in here, and you can see that it's darker. That's where the mud has filled in. As I see if I scrape it down more, you'll see just where it, see where it's filled in that scratch. And so
Yeah.
when I go back and give this my scuff sand, it will go right back down to that little area, and it'll be nice and pretty. So I'm filling in all of these little scratches that have happened in the last 100 years on this piece. So that's what we're doing today. Man, this thing's got more than I thought. And that's the thing. This the original mud is really so simple to do and easy, but it's a great way if you really want a nice finish. You don't want those dips and potholes and everything in your piece. That it's really a great way to do it. And so you've got everything kind of filled in and you get a clean, flat working surface. Especially if you're going to be doing decoupage or a transfer. If you've got a surface blemish, what can happen is that as you're going over it, your transfer might, rip or dip into where that whatever holes or dings or dents are in your pieces. And so it's a great way to just kind of go in and fill those. And then when you scuff sand it back, who am I kidding? I'll probably take a regular sander because this is a big piece. And you really see when you start scraping it back exactly, because I didn't think that there was this many scratches in it. And then as I'm scraping it back, I'm looking at it down here going, wow, all these scratches and cracks and dents that I didn't see before. So let me get
Yeah,
a
it's
clean one
amazing how
here.
that works.
And
Right. I don't know how good that's showing up on camera, but it's got a lot of reflection.
let me see again. Sorry. Do it again. Do again. Do again. Oh, yeah. It's definitely sparkly.
Is it showing up?
It's, yeah.
I really like how this stardust looks on the edges. It almost looks like a mirror.
Let me.
Oh,
Yeah, the Stardust is paint couture, isn't it?
yep. But does it look like a mirror?
It does. It looks really nice.
You know, how the light
Really,
bounces right here?
mm.
So, cool.
Oh, so
So
what's
I
been
think
going on in your
it'll
neck of
look
the?
good. Huh?
What's been going on in your neck of the woods?
Oh, not a whole heck of a lot. Or at least not anything I can talk about.
Oh, see, that's
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I
I
get
have been painting
it.
my son's kitchen. He bought a house a couple years ago that was really, I don't know how to put it. The guy that flipped it was terrible. The way he did everything, and he did it all half-assed. And so every cupboard door is different. Some have curved, some are solid wood, straight edge. All the hardware kind of goes up and down when you look across them. Different hinges. I mean, it's a mess. Screws where they shouldn't be to hold the cupboards together into the wall. So I've been popping all
So,
the doors off, sanding them down.
so the guy did just enough to say that he fixed up the house and that there were cabinets,
Yeah.
and
It,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. When you walk in, you first
yeah,
look at it, it looks good until you're living there. Then you realize,
yeah. Uh, I'm gonna grab a chip brush real quick because what I'm gonna do is I'll dip the chip brush in my mud and paint it on, and
uh,
then use my little spatula to, thin it out a little bit.
so is
So
Jeff's swamp mud thinner than, say, the other person's mud?
it is slightly thinner, but I found that it works better that because it's thinner.
Okay,
Because I
I'll
can just
not use it.
see, look, I can just, huh?
I haven't used that.
Yeah. Well, if I can ever get you to Texas again when we actually got time to paint, you will be using it. And
Well, you
guys,
know,
I am trying so hard to get to Texas for something other than us going 100 miles an hour. Trying so hard.
well, we're usually good for what, 3 months, and then somebody has to come to the other.
I
And
know,
we're
and it's
coming
been
up on
since August. No, you were here in
no
October.
October, yeah, first week.
November. Yeah, you were here
Oh
in
yeah, it was
November.
November, wasn't
But
it?
yeah, but we were moving. And it wasn't like we had quality paint time because all of my paints were in boxes
Yeah,
on the back of a moving truck.
yeah, we didn't have really time to do much of anything.
No, no. And I'm so grateful that Sue was here because between her and Stacy kept me from losing my mind trying to, finish closing on the house and yeah,
All of that went down is really unbelievable.
it was unbelievable. Um,
Crap, something.
yeah, you know.
So when I was in Texas, one of the trips, you gave me all these boxes,
Yeah,
and
show them
I
that.
mean
That's
like
real.
a case of them. And I'm like, what am I going to do with these? So then I thought, let's glue them all together and make it where it holds all different stuff. So I'm still working on this. I've got my mud on there right now so I can get it more smooth. And I'm thinking I might put more molds on there.
Yeah, you
And
were
then
showing me it before we went live, and I thought that that was a great idea. And I still have, what is it? There's a box up there that's just like, I've got another box of those boxes here, and it's probably what, 50 or 100 in a box, in a,
probably there's a
the case,
lot.
the lot. Yeah.
And I also thought
So
about you get those little tiny half inch by half inch square wood blocks at Hobby Lobby, the mothership. I thought about
yeah,
putting them in between each section, and then you could put it up on a wall almost like an apothecary, put handles on each one of these. And you could open it
yeah,
like
that
a
would be
little
cute.
apothecary. So, yeah, I got to do something with them. There's so many.
It'd also be great for you to do it once you figure it out. See if you can do a class with it because it's a really cute project.
Yeah. So, as soon as I got done with your dragonfly the other day, I sold it.
Did you?
It-
Good.
yeah, it turned out really pretty.
Did you get a picture of it?
I did. I'll post it on the site.
Yeah, since I'm just right now, I'm just doing minor surface. I just decided that I would go ahead and take a brush and go over it because when I sand it down, I've got to sand this whole big sucker anyway. Um, then it'll be nice and everything will be covered. Because before, I was just kind of spot hitting it on where I thought. And then when I did this panel down here, I noticed all the scratches that were there. And I was like, oh. So I'm just taking a chip brush, going over the whole thing, and it'll fill in those little crevices.
Okay, so the swamp
So,
mud, let's get this right, is not only a filler and something to repair with, but it's also a stain blocker, right?
no,
Now,
the prevention is a stain blocker. This is also like an adhesion. So you could use this if you wanted a textured, like an adhesion bond for your paint. If you wanted it textured, then you can use the swamp mud or you can use the Pro Stick. But this Jeff Swamp Mud is really, really good as well for adhesion.
okay,
So my paint gonna stick good after this.
good.
It's
Yeah,
gonna be
because
awesome.
the cherry woods and the mahoganies, they just bleed profusely, and no matter what you do, the stuff is still going to come through. It's not going to want to stick as well. There's just something about that wood and the tannins in it.
Oh, they're brutal. Now the way that I'm going with this, and since I am using the mud, I'm probably not going to use the prevention, but Miss Lillian's has a shellac based primer called Prevention, and it's for stains and tannins, for that bleed through, and that is the greatest stuff ever. Now it's not water based; it's shellac based, so it does have an odor to it. But if you want to block that baby and make sure that it is blocked, get you some Prevention.
Right.
It's not going anywhere. So just because I don't want to redo my camera angle. Oh, Anne from Indiana is on with us. She says, "Hey, lady, she was at PT." And I'm sure that Delania will check in with us. Delania is traveling this morning to go get her surgery done up in, I think it's South Carolina. And so
Oh, wow.
she's traveling from Florida to South Carolina to get her surgery done. So we're been keeping up with her. They stopped at Bucky's near Daytona and posted that they were at Bucky's
Oh,
in
I didn't
Daytona,
even know they
Florida
had them in
earlier.
Florida.
Yeah. What is this hitting on? Uh, I've got it on two of my big rolly carts so I can move it around. I just didn't want to start working on an upper area and have to move my camera. But I'm thinking my camera might have been easier. It may not look that big, but this is a huge, heavy piece.
It's solid.
This
Yeah, I
piece,
was surprised you got it in the
yeah.
house finally.
Yeah, it took Shorty and Austin together, and yeah, and moving cart or furniture dollies. But yeah, it took two grown men and three furniture dollies to get it about 8 feet from where it was in the garage to the studio. So this is definitely one of the pieces that you decide where it goes in your house, and everything else gets put around it because you're not going to want to move it. Well, it's like that 8 foot hall tree that I have in the living room.
Oh yeah.
You know, we decided where that was going to go, and then where it would fit, and then everything else is like put in around it because I'm not moving that thing again.
It, it looks like it's a little bit fragile too. That
What,
old
the
hall
the hall
tree.
tree?
Yeah,
Yeah, it is.
very
It needs
ornate.
some love, and yeah. And I mean, it came originally from Germany with family, back when that kind of stuff was common. So it's not like they took really good care of it. And so a couple of little pieces have been busted off, and the back legs have a crack in it. And so we've got to get in and fix all that, and we will. It's just, it's been buried at our other house for years. Um, and so now that it's actually in the forefront, we'll get in and was hoping that we would. The thing, since we moved, any day that it's been nice that we could have done something like in the house, or it's been raining, or if it's
Right.
nice, then like right now, Shorty's on his way to Alabama. So, Shorty's driving to Alabama right now to go out of town this week. And, so it's like, it's beautiful today. We could have done so much around here, but he's out of town.
Yeah, it never aligns right.
Yeah. So, it's been a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. So, Sue, are you done with your project for the day, baby girl?
No, I'm waiting a minute for it to dry so I can do another coat.
Gotcha.
Why? What you got on your mind?
Oh, I just didn't know what we're doing.
Oh, my dog is upset. He hears you and he can't see you. See, and I just put him back down. He's going to bark again.
Poor Milo. So for you guys at home, when Sue and I talk in the mornings, afternoon, evening, whenever, because we talk a couple times a day, Milo and I talk to each other. So a lot of times Milo will hear my voice, and he gets upset if he can't see me because he's like, she's here somewhere, I can hear her. And so I guess Milo's having one of those times right now.
Yeah, and some days when I'm up here painting, I have to hold him like this and paint because he's
Yeah,
not
he's
having
not
it.
spoiled at all.
Not at all.
Yeah, he's no. Well, see, now that I've got this thing on a rolly cart, and the door to the courtyard is right there in my studio, I can wheel this out the courtyard to sand it.
Beautiful. So much better there, isn't it?
Oh yeah. And I don't know if you guys can see. Let me pull the camera in. Uh right there is a couple of little dings just a couple of little dings. You can see when I went over it with the paintbrush where there's a couple of little dots in there.
Yeah.
And then what I'm going to do is just take a little bit more on my brush than normal, than just surface finish. And with my chip brush, I can kind of scrub it in and then blend it out. And then when I go to sand, that hole will be filled in along with all
Right.
these little surface scratches I'm getting. It's amazing. I did not think that this thing had this many surface scratches in it until I started putting the mud on it and scraping it back. That's why I'm doing kind of a layer over the whole thing so that all those that I didn't see before will get filled in as well. Because there's a lot of scratches and dents on this thing.
Yeah, it's always amazing what you'll find as
So,
you're working on a project that you thought you
yeah,
already
I
repaired
never,
or filled.
yeah, I really did not think that this had that many surface scratches and stuff. And, you know, a surface scratch when you paint will get filled in. But these are really, really deep. These are not just regular scratches. You can tell that, like I said, at one point, somebody's dog chewed on one of the legs. Actually, on two of the legs. Both of the front legs are chewed on. Um, you can see, and I'm just guesstimating what happened, but obviously it's been kicked, you know, when you go to sit down to, you know, in front of, when you take the front down for the writing desk part of it, you know, it's been kicked and you can see where it's got dings and everything in it. And so for your, just your absolute surface imperfections, just, you know, your paint will get into that and make it smooth. That's fine. These are deeper than that. These are deeper than just that one little, you know. So Anne says, "Hi, Milo."
Oh, yeah.
So I think we're gonna wrap it up. What do you think, Sue?
Yeah, I really don't have much more to do. If I do go ahead and do this resin, I'll post pictures of it. I don't know that I
Okay.
want to do it live. It's because it's been 100 years since I poured resin, but we'll see. Maybe I will.
It's been 100 years.
Yeah, I'm quite old.
Sue, we had a whole day of resin when I came there in August.
No, that was resin mold.
Oh, right. Okay. So, guys, I will be back on the Miss Lillian's page Tuesday at 3 Texas time. That's 4 Eastern time. Sue and I will be back here next Thursday at 11 Texas time, noon Eastern time. Sue, tell them what you have about, my love.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us today. I'm Sue. I'm located in Sevierville, Tennessee, at the foot of the Great Smoky Mountains inside Flea Trader's Paradise. Back
And I
at you,
am
girl.
Crysta Litter. I am Crysta from Litter to Glitter, a furniture artist out of Garland, Texas. And oh, on Tuesday, I'm going to show how to fill holes with mud. So what I mean by that is, let me show you. You got to check in. This had two
Oh, yeah.
handles that went all the way through. And so I'm going to show you guys a really cool method to fill in those holes using your mud. And also hopefully by then I'll get the top ones off. The top ones were original and they had like a dowel rod. They don't go all the way through. It was a dowel rod that they put into the back of the wood and then glue screwed it into the wood, not all the way through.
Was the
So I'm
dowel
gonna have to
part
cut
kind
them.
of like a screw, but in wood? Because
Yes,
I've
I'll
got a
show you.
bunch of those. Boy, that goes way back.
So, oh God, yeah. So when this thing was built, let me show you. See what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's wood, but if you take this down, it
Oh
doesn't
no.
go all the way through.
So you're gonna have to cut that off.
I'm gonna have to grab it with vice grips probably and see if I can get the glue broken. If not, then I'll have to cut it and then sand it flat
Yeah.
and then
Ooh, I
mud
did
it.
not know
So yeah,
that.
this piece has a lot of moving parts and it's okay. Um, so uh, did I say Garland? Because Garland, Texas. Because Ann put in Berry, Texas. I'm wondering if I said that I was out of
Oh gosh,
Garland,
if
Texas
you
again.
did,
Because we're still
I'm so
making that.
used to Garland too.
Yeah, I'm in Berry, Texas. Thank you, Ann. I'm still saying Garland, Texas, sometime in Berry, Texas. Oh, where is? I'm wondering, real quick, because I had a funny to show you, but I don't know where I put it yesterday when I came in. Um, we got our local phone book, and it was in our mailbox at our post office, and
What's an
um,
eighth of an
I
inch?
can't. It's about yay thick. The white and the yellow pages are about yay thick, and it's not the
That big.
big. Yeah, it's one of the like. It's not even an 8 by 11. It's like a 7 by, no, like maybe a 6 by 9 book, and it's about yay thick, yellow and white pages, and it covers like 18 of the little small towns out here. It's like Retreat, Berry, M House, Blooming Grove. It's all the little towns out here in the county. And so it's like 12 little towns that this
That's cool.
phone book covers. And it's a teeny tiny little phone book. Like it's really small. And I was gonna cause Austin's grabbed it. Yeah, you left it outside. Oh. So look. So it covers Angus, Berry, Blooming
Corsicana
Grove,
too.
Chatfield, M House, Fairfield, Frost, Kearns, Curvin, Mertens, Mildred, Navarro, Oak Valley, Powell, Purton, Retreat, Rice, Richland, Roan, and Streetman. And it covers Dawson, Irene, and Navarro. And
It's like a brochure.
it's like a brochure. And it's the white and the yellow pages. So if
Well,
you
think
think we didn't
about
move
it.
out into
Is
the
it mostly
country,
businesses in there?
it actually looks about half and half.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't have a house phone anymore.
Yeah. So
That's
Shorty
a
asked
hoot.
me if I did. Do you remember the movie? Do you remember the movie The Jerk?
Uh-huh.
With Steve Martin back in the 80s. And the first thing he did when he made his money is he went and he didn't think he was somebody until his name was in the phone book. And so he opened up the book and he's like, I'm somebody. My name's in the phone book. So the Shorty asked me if I looked to see. I was like, we just moved here. This was printed probably 3 months ago. There's no way, you know. But yeah, like I said, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 20, 21 towns. And that's the yellow and the white pages.
Wow.
We country. Oh, gosh. All right, guys. So we will be coming back with you guys very, very soon. Thanks for joining us. If you've got any questions, feel free to put them in. Much love, you guys. Bye.
Hi, guys.